So here's my cabin. It's set up on the road right now. Hopefully several more inches tonight.
I think we'll drop 10 to 12 inches of snow around Winter Park, Mary Jane, Berthoud Pass.
Woohoo! Cliff area.
Oh, it's mint.
Woohoo!
Thank you, dude.
Yeah. So I got this cabin that fits in the back of my car. Might snow 8, 10, 12 inches tonight. I'm gonna set up this cabin, sleep in it overnight, pack it back up early in the morning, and try to catch one of the earliest chairs. Okay, so this is a lot steeper road than it looks, so it's going to take a lot more snow to get this leveled out. This floor is going to get soaked while I am setting this up, but I have a hot tent stove, and that's going to dry this floor out really quick. Three of these floor panels, and they just slide together, and then the walls end up holding them together. The walls drop over the edge. On here, there's going to be a piece of wall that sits on top of here, and a piece that sits next to it. So the full wall will sit like that. And if you noticed, had some little black brackets that help hold them in place. The first few days I used this, I didn't have those on there, and it worked fine. But when I set this up in the air a little bit, it's a lot easier with those brackets. When I was skiing on Monday, a few days ago, there was a 4-inch an hour snow for about an hour in the middle of the day. This might be a 4-inch an hour snow right here.
I think I'm.
Snowed about 3 inches so far. I think it started 4 or 5 hours ago. The first couple hours were an inch an hour. It's a lot lighter than that now. Okay, so a little bit more tricky when there's snow. These don't have to slide completely together, but the closer they are together, the better. All right, 2 panels down. Guessing that's pretty good. The deeper the snow is that you're using for a platform, the better you need to pack it down, because it'll settle during the night, or it'll settle over time. Let's get floor panel number 3. Okay. Try putting these babies together. Beautiful. Not level yet, but we're getting there. So it's quicker stacking up boards. I could have done that today, I guess, but part of the fun is being out in a snowstorm. That's why I picked tonight to do this. All right, I think that'll do. I treat my car like a work car. I use it as a work car sometimes when I'm doing handyman type of work. So I don't mind if I lean boards up against my car. I'm not trying to keep it from getting scratched or anything. Okay, the next 6 panels are the front and back. I'm going to put them top down so that snow and ice doesn't pack up in this ridge. Here's that ridge I was talking about that sits on top of those floor panels. Make sure this is clear. And this. So I use that to hold it up straight. I usually use a couple of those, but today I got that snowbank and no wind. I was able to just stand that up. There's a hole there, so I crank this over until those line up. All right, so once that one's in, this is pretty stable, even if it was windy out. But I'm pretty happy that it's not windy. That's mostly in there. Got a little work to do to get these together. That's in. So that pin there is a clevis pin. This is a cotter pin. And I can stick that in there, and that holds these together. I have holes lined up here, here, and down here, but I found out that, I mostly just put 2. I don't have very many of these pins, so it might only be 1 tonight. Okay, let's put the back panel on there. This one here is the middle back panel. This one's not really interchangeable. It's always going to be opposite of the front door. Eventually I'm going to have videos showing how I built this thing, but the outside of the panels has vertical cedar fence pickets. The inside has horizontal cedar fence pickets. These edges are 2x4s with lengthwise rabbets and some lap joints at the top and bottom that allow me to slide these all together. So that it won't fall over on me. I originally numbered my panels starting here. The front door is going to go right here. The one with the big window I usually have here. That's panel 1. So I got panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to put them that way today, except for that I'm going to swap 1 and 6. 1 and 6 I'm going to swap with each other. So the one that's normally there with a window that opens, that's a little higher up and a smaller window, I'm going to put it here because it's in the front. This panel here and that panel there, the 2 panels on this corner, I originally built it with no windows on either one of those because the stove sits right here. Stove's going to be sitting right there. But these panels were built so that this panel here on the end with a peak, like you see up there, is here, and it's a panel that looks like this one, but it's shaped like that one. So this one here and that one there can be interchanged. One has a window, one doesn't. That panel there and that panel there can be interchanged from there to there. So one has a window here, one does not. And then this panel here that does not have a window because it's by the stove can interchange with that panel. So I have set it up where I have windows here next to the stove, and it's been fine. And then I am going to swap those other 2 panels there today. I wrote numbers on these. I'm looking for panel number 6, which is this one. That's the bottom. Before I get the last panel on, I'm going to shovel out the floor of my cabin. Looking pretty crazy right now, but I think it'll go together just fine. This one is panel 1 with the bigger window on it. I have some washers that I use to tighten these up. I may or may not use them. Once I set the roof panels on here, everything locks together pretty nice and solid. Tomorrow's Friday. Normally I work, and I had no plans on going skiing or coming up and doing this, but at lunch I noticed that the forecast had upgraded, and I think it said 3 to 7 tonight, or 3 to 7 during the day, and 4 to 8 inches tonight. So tomorrow's a good day to ski. I took the day off tomorrow so that I could go ski. Tomorrow is the last powder day of this storm cycle before we have a week to 10 days, maybe even 2 weeks of no snow, or very little snow. There's been a few incredible days in the past week. My original plan when I drove up was I was going to carve out a flat spot on top of this bank here, or at least on that shelf there. But that would take a little more time. Maybe, maybe not. But it's less work doing it out here on the flat, on the road. And since there's a powder day tomorrow, I want to be able to pack up as quick as I can in the morning. This tears down much faster than putting it up. Get a pin in there. Another one here. When these panels are not lined up with each other, I could probably do this without gloves though. My hands never got cold. So I need to bring these together. So that makes it really easy to pry that up and get that pin in there. I'm going to just go ahead and put the roof on, and then I might come back later and put more pins in the middle or at the bottom, but it's not really necessary. One thing I'm kind of wondering about or worrying about is snow. It's going to be hot in here from the stove. Snow's going to keep running down, and the little bit of roof that's overhanging will not be hot. So I'm going to get an ice dam and I mean, I don't really care about the ice dam tonight, but I might care in the morning when I'm trying to make this all fit back in my car. So this drops in there, the side drops in there, locks that together. There's been at least a couple nights where just barely down the road in the valley, one night was 31 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. And then a little earlier in the winter, there was a 43, I believe, or 44, I think it was 44 degree below 0 Fahrenheit night, which is 2 degrees colder than the coldest one I've ever paid attention to before in all the years I lived up here. Okay, those are all ready for roof panels. Yeah, so I'm glad I did this on a warm, no wind night. This is going to be a lot more challenging on a cold night. So this helps line up, assuming this drops in, like it usually does. So that just sits there. Wouldn't take much for some wind to suck that up and flip it off in the middle of the night. This one goes on the front, and then the last panel has the hole in it for the stovepipe for the hot tank stove. That one's locked in good. That's locked in good. Okay, so once that's on there, that really locks this together. All right, that's it. That's the roof. They're just sitting on there right now. They're pretty good. I mean, they've been out here in some, I don't know, 20-ish mile per hour gusts. And that was about the point where it felt like they were about to get lifted off. So here's something new that I made last week. If you've seen the other videos, I had my bed set up over here at desk height. But I decided to make another one of these so that my bed is at couch height here after I get this my sleeping pad on here. I forgot to bring a couple extra blankets that I have been using to sleep in. It's warm enough I've been able to just throw those on top of me. But I also like having them in case the sleeping pad loses air in the middle of the night. Okay, the reason that's in two pieces is because I can put this over here and have a short either couch or a short, taller desk. Let me get those other boards. One thing I didn't do for this table yet is put some holes for these two so that I can put pins on here. So today I have another board to go here. I don't need this drill to put this cabin together, but today I did use this. I attached this board, this piece of plywood, to these legs here. That's a pipe with a damper that may or may not even need. I always leave it open. Start to build this. There's 4 more pieces here. Each of these fit inside of each other. It's kind of tricky getting the spark arrestor on the top. Might not even mess with it tonight. Once I have some coals in here, the rest of the evening is just putting in bigger logs, and it lasts a long time. I crank this thing way down. There's a small space in here, so it stays very warm in here. Once I close the door up and get everything moved in. Get this cranked all the way up. I put my boots there where the defroster is. This car has a remote start, so in the morning I'm going to remote start, get my ski boots warmed up, Right now I'm gonna get all the snow off of my car. I just wiped all the snow off my car. About 5 inches, 4.5. Should snow hopefully several more inches tonight. Here's what I expected. So the roof is super warm, snow is gonna keep melting, but ice is gonna build up there. Right now it's just slushy. It's a pretty warm night. It's in the 20s, mid-20s right now. So here's my cabin. It's set up on the road right now. I mean, this is a road that, maybe 2 or 3 cars will drive through here before I pack this back up. Tomorrow, I'm almost certain that they'll get in here with loaders and plow this road. They keep this road open to access water infrastructure for the city of Denver. So there's my cabin. It's 5 feet by 7 feet, I think 1.5 inches inside. That's the inside dimensions. It's tall enough to stand in. I have to duck when I go in the door. You can see the fireplace is going right now. It's cooking in there. It's very warm. I'm running my car just to make sure the battery's charged up. I had the doors open for the last hour or so while I was setting this up. Inside here, I have my stove. There's still a little bit of snow and water. I keep walking in and out and tracking more snow in. But this stove, right now I'm cranking it to bake off all of this water off of the floor. It'll be nice and dry and warm in here tonight. I have that board there to keep my sleeping pad and sleeping bag from falling over into the stove in the middle of the night. Let me get these snow boots off. I didn't really need these. I put my boots on. Well, it was nice to have my boots on. I put these boots on though, thinking that I was going to put the cabin up on top of this snowbank. Total nighttime snow accumulations 4 to 8 inches.
Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this Thursday mountain weather update. I want to take you to Lunch Rock up here at Winter Park. What a view this morning. So again, this is Winter Park up there. Of course, Mary Jane sits right next to it, all off of or near Berthoud Pass in Colorado. And it's this area that's going to get hit pretty good tonight. Just talk a little bit about Winter Park because they are doing extremely well so far this season. 245 inches so far for the season. I mean, that's more snow than a lot of the resorts in Colorado have received, and 31 inches in the last 3 days. And again, you're going to get a good shot of snow tonight into Friday morning. All right, let's go in.
I have a spare key in the cabin. It's starting to get light out. There's some ice. Hopefully that axe will get it off. Okay, I'm dumping out the stove. Once all the coals are out of there, it'll just take a few minutes for that to cool off. All right, here we go. There was no wind in the forecast last night. This is going to be a great ski day. No drifts. All the snow will be sitting equal depth on all the moguls. Here's this latch. Since there was no wind last night, I was able to just set the roof on. And not use brackets to connect the roof panels. I don't think I really need gloves for this, so I think I'm going to go no gloves. All the short panels go in last. Maybe I'll stop and talk to me. Stopped there. I don't know if he can't fit by or what. Maybe he's following things. Yeah, so I'm definitely messing up his plowing job here. I'll I'll be out of here in a few minutes, but I know it's still frustrating for him. The heaviest panel is 45 pounds, and these side panels I think are more like 35 pounds. I just drove a few hundred yards away and they already plowed that area where I was camped. This camper right here has been here all winter. Used to have a ski locker in here in the base of Mary Jane, which is pretty awesome, but we still get to park pretty close. I think I might walk and change inside, or no, I'll probably just change here. Oh, it took at least an hour and a half to pack everything up and drive over here, but I'm plenty early, so I can take my time. Lifts open in 3 minutes. There's people who pay extra who get to go up early. There's been a bunch of people laughing for the past half hour.
I think sleeper might be a good move.
9:12. Spent the night in the cabin last night, the portable cabin. I set it up just across the valley there, and now it's powder day. Woohoo! Oh yeah. I think the camera might have been facing down. That was a nice shot. Man,
We'll get some good footage.
thanks. Cliff area.
Oh, it's mint.
I've jumped off that before. Gotta keep moving because there's other people that want to come down. Just cut across and go across that apron. Woohoo! It's gonna take a long time to get out of here. Oh shoot, hole in the wall. Better not, why not? It's kind of funny, awkward conversations I should try to make it a lot more awkward somehow. Okay, so down there is Corona Way. That'll be smooth sailing. Look at those chutes. That's where I walked from, right next to those cliffs up there. Yeah, it's gone till summer. I'll look on Google Maps and see how far of a walk that was. Guessing half a mile.
Oh, did you lose one?
Yeah.